This is Dr. Richard Herbold, and we're back to you today. If you've listened to our first of many informational blogs or videos, we're going to talk a little bit about something slightly different than last time, which was chronic knee pain. Today we're going to talk a little bit about peripheral neuropathy. Peripheral neuropathy basically is broken down into two words meaning far away, peripheral, and neuropathy meaning an inflammation of a nerve root. So as a credentialed neurologist, and also as a clinical nutritionist with 35 years of experience, let me tell you a little bit about peripheral neuropathy. The biochemistry of peripheral neuropathy is just as important as the neurological consequences, and they both contribute to the end result, which is people who have a tough time feeling their hands and feet predominantly as a symptom. So the number one cause of peripheral neuropathy in the United States is diabetes. And the number one type of diabetes in the United States is type 2 diabetes. Diabetes is estimated to cripple or bankrupt the healthcare system in the next 10 years. We are rolling into a society that is becoming more and more and more insulin resistant. And what that means is that we no longer can use sugar for fuel. The sugar, when it doesn't get used as fuel, goes right into fat storage. So obesity is part of the puzzle. The insulin resistance, as it's referred to in the literature, is when your cells become less and less and less sensitized to the hormone insulin. Insulin is made in your pancreas, and there's a couple different types of diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is usually juvenile in onset, and what happens is an autoimmune condition where the body recognizes insulin as a foreign substance. The pancreas itself has cells called the islets of Langerhans that produce the insulin, and after the recognition occurs, our body starts attacking those cells, breaking down the pancreas, rendering it unavailable for modulating blood sugar. So we have type 1 and type 2 that I mentioned. We have type 1.5, which is a different scenario, and type 3. Type 3 is actually qualified now as diabetes. And diabetes, obviously, is Alzheimer's disease. It's a diabetes of the brain, actually. Type 1.5 is usually in between 1 and 2, and that tends to be more of an autoimmune condition of an older aging population. So we have a variety of dysfunctions that could be contributing to this peripheral neuropathy. Peripheral neuropathy is basically a breakdown of peripheral nerves called small and large diameter afferent fibers. Afferent meaning sensory. So what's happening is these nerve roots that are far away from the brain, called peripheral, right? They're far away, start to break down. Now, the small and large diameter fibers have slightly different mechanisms in control, but they're both involved with pain. The large diameter fibers are designed when they fire into the spinal cord to inhibit pain. So when you start losing the large diameter fibers, the more you move, the more you hurt. And that's actually a diagnostic tool. The small diameter fibers are the slow pain fibers, and those are the ones that tend to also die off, so that eventually your pain system, as far as recognition and feedback up to your brain, becomes out of control. Now, peripheral neuropathy, if you don't control it metabolically, by looking at the diabetic piece or the metabolic piece, is a lose-lose situation. So in my office, we look at you metabolically, and we also look at you neurologically. So we stage your peripheral neuropathy. And if you're under 85% of progression, you'll qualify for the type of services that we provide in the office. The most aggressive care that I've seen and experienced as a clinician for peripheral neuropathy is the use of our Class 4 laser. The Class 4 laser is kind of like a Star Wars tool for regenerating nerve roots, and clinical studies show, and clinical experience that I've seen in my office, that you can take the damage to the large and small diameter fibers and you can reverse that. Now, the big win is not only healing those nerve roots if you're under 85% in progression as far as degeneration, but also then is to fix the mechanism, the underlying mechanism, so it doesn't come back again. So you can make repairs to peripheral neuropathy, and we do that by using tools such as Class 4 laser. We also use a device called a rebuilder. So there's a frequency of 7.85 hertz that nerves in particular can be resensitized. So we use a laser, we use a rebuilder, we use spinal decompression, we use another device called pulsed-electromagnetics. All of these are designed to help to heal and regenerate that system. So if this is something that you're suffering with, and people do suffer quite a bit with peripheral neuropathy, just understand that after evaluation, we can qualify whether or not you're at that 85 or under percentile and are a candidate for actually enjoying the relief for helping to improve and to heal these small and large diameter fibers and helping you on the road of recovery for figuring out, from a lifestyle perspective, how you can stop the progression and then reverse or at least diminish greatly the amount of suffering that you're in. So this is Dr. Richard Herbold. My office is 518-371-6431. I'm pleased that you spent the time today to hear a little bit about peripheral neuropathy, and I hope the educational process was helpful for you to understand a little bit more about that disease process. Thank you again for your time, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.